So today we're going to take a look at what's going to happen if Belgium tries to form an empire in 2024. So yeah, let's see who they declare war on, how they expand and all those other stuff. But before we get into this video, first of all, I want to say that major alliances like NATO, CSTO, the EU or the UN, they do not exist in my videos. Go ahead and subscribe to my second channel. But yeah, now let's get right into the video. Now we did make a video about the Netherlands and it performed really well. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it now. But yeah, Belgium is in the same position as the Netherlands. They're also surrounded by some very strong countries, and that's really not good for you if you want to expand and if you want to form an empire. So just like how the Dutch did, the Belgians are first going to militarize their country, because as of right now they don't have a good military at all. They're going to have to work on that, and then they're going to be mainly focusing on their navy for obvious reasons. In the very beginning, they cannot declare war on any of these countries because all of these countries are very strong. So they're going to have to go colonization mode, and who knows which countries they're going to invade to form colonies. But as of right now, they're going to start everything off by militarizing their country. It's going to take them a few decades to do this, and in all of this time we can see that the Belgians did work on their military significantly. Even with the current military that they have, they can still take out one country here without even using their military, and that country is going to be Luxembourg, of course. We can see that the Belgians send an ultimatum to Luxembourg demanding their annexation. These guys had no other choice but to accept the ultimatum, because they knew that the Belgians were going to expand, and so Luxembourg was the first country that got annexed by the Belgians. But this is just going to be the start. As years go by, the Belgians were importing weapons and stuff. They were focusing most of their money into their military just because they had future plans to expand, while at the same time they were working on a very formidable navy. And after a few decades of all of this militarization, we can see that the Belgians are ready for their first military campaign, and this one is going to be very obvious. But if you still don't know, we can see that the Belgians now declare war on the Netherlands for obvious reasons. I mean, the Netherlands is the only weaker country that they border. So now let's see. We can see that the Belgians now push up, and the Dutch were caught off guard, and that's how they lost a lot of soldiers. And after a few months of fighting, we can see that Amsterdam was captured. The remaining parts of the Netherlands just go ahead and surrender. And later on, we can see that the entire country of Netherlands got completely annexed by the Belgians. But now, after taking over the Netherlands, Belgian military has improved quite significantly, because all of the military equipment under the Netherlands is now under the Belgian Empire. They're using it, and so their military is now way better. And now, after having a very formidable navy, we can see that the Belgian Empire is ready for their second military campaign. This is going to be a little bit far away, but it is going to take place in Europe, where we can see that the Belgian Empire now declares war on Iceland for its strategic position, and of course to have more land in order to form their empire. And things are not looking good for Iceland, as they don't have a military at all. And so we can see that the Belgians now make a naval landing in the southern parts. They push around, taking control of the highly populated regions of Iceland. The remaining parts of Iceland just go ahead and surrender, as the Belgians took over most of the important parts. Later on, we can see that Iceland gets completely annexed by the Belgian Empire. But yeah, a few more years go by. The Belgians still militarize their country, and their economy is also doing great now. But now they are preparing for a full-scale invasion of a country. That country is as major as the Netherlands was. So now for that, we can see that the Belgians are recruiting troops from all over the country, and it seems like they are fully prepared for their invasion. They're going to be invading Denmark, because Denmark is looking very vulnerable. So now let's see. We can see that the superior Belgian navy comes into action as they make a naval landing in the eastern parts of Denmark. And keep in mind that the capital city was right here, and unfortunately for the Danish, they lost their capital city. The Belgians make another naval landing right here, but the remaining parts of Denmark just go ahead and surrender. Denmark too gets completely annexed, and Greenland was given its independence. Not fully, but you know, still they were given their independence. But after the invasion of Denmark, the Belgians now want some colonies. But relax guys, they're not going to be going after the DRC. That is going to be horrible. Instead, we can see that the Belgians now declare war on Benin as well as Togo. You know, just to have some colonies. We can see that the Belgians make a naval landing in Benin. They push into Togo too, and the superior Belgian army was easily able to take all of these parts of Togo and Benin. The remaining parts of the country just go ahead and surrender, and both Togo as well as Benin got completely annexed. But the Belgians are not going to stop here. For another one, we can see that they declare war on Suriname, and yeah, we can see that the Belgians make a naval landing in the north. They push around, securing all of these regions, and after a few months of fighting, we can see that all of Suriname is now under the Belgian control. control, and Suriname too gets completely annexed by the Belgian Empire, and things seem to be going great for the Belgians. They want their final colony in Africa, for which now we can see that they declare war on Gabon. They make a naval landing right here, and they push up, capturing the capital city of Gabon. But after fighting for years, the people of Gabon finally go ahead and surrender, and this was the last colony that the Belgians wanted, and now they're going to be focusing in Europe instead. But guys, keep in mind that the Belgian Empire now has a way better military than they had when they started all of this. Their military has improved quite significantly because of all the resources that they have now. Even with all of the great military that they have, they still cannot take out these countries who are still way stronger. But we want the Belgians to expand, and so we're going to do the same thing here which we did in the Netherlands Empire video, and that is, well, coalitions. And yeah, we can see that the Belgians were able to convince some of these countries to form a coalition against France, and from France they want some lands. But let's talk about this coalition. First of all, we can see that the Belgians declare war on France, but the Belgians are not the only ones declaring war on France. And well, the countries which the Belgians were able to convince to form a coalition are Spain, the UK, and Italy. Now guys, I don't want to repeat this in every single one of my videos, but still I'm gonna have to say this, that my videos are meant to be unrealistic. They're just for fun, and they should not be taken too seriously. All of this can never ever happen because all of these countries are good allies with each other. But just for the sake of this video, we can see that all of these countries now have declared war on France, and things are not looking good for France. We can see that the Italians are now pushing into France, and they're pushing down the coast. The Spanish also push in from the south, securing the entire coastline. The Belgians also push in from the north, and their main goal is to get to the capital city of Paris. The Spanish and the Italians both push up, combining their forces. We can see that Corsica was also taken, and the United Kingdom sends a lot of troops to Belgium, who then get to the front lines. And after the arrival of all of these troops, we can see that the Belgians now push in, and this is only happening because France was caught off guard. And unfortunately for the French, we can see that they lost their capital city of Paris. The UK makes their own naval landing in Brittany, taking out the entire region, and the Belgians also push around here, also making spearheads down here, after which both of these parts go ahead and surrender. But yeah, after all of this chaos, we can see that the remaining parts of France just go ahead and surrender, as there was no literal way that they could have won this war. So yeah, now let's take a look at a peace negotiation. Oh wow, in a peace negotiation we can see that all of these parts of France were completely annexed by the Belgians. This has been taken by the United Kingdom, some of these parts by Spain and Italy. But yeah, the Belgians took a lot of land from the French. Now would they be able to hold on to this land? I really question that. And after a few more years, they're finally ready to take on their last country. They still do a lot of militarization, but yeah, they declare war on Germany. So let's see. We can see that the Belgians storm into Germany from the north, securing all of the German coastline. They also push in from all sides, securing the Bavarian parts of Germany. They push in from the north too, and a huge Belgian army now arrives at the gates of Berlin. Unfortunately for the Germans, the Belgians were too quick at doing everything. But yeah, they lost Berlin. Additionally, they lost all of these parts, apparently. And now we can see that they signed a peace negotiation with the Belgians. And yeah, this kind of happened. Is it too much for Belgium? Yes, I agree. But yeah guys, this is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me what you guys want to see in the future. Thank you for watching.